My name is Andrew O'Brien, and I spent the last 4 years building the largest community of online dads in the entire state of Texas. I started out when I was making $90,000 a year with a full-time salaried position and turned it into a side business to bring in some extra money. Within 90 days, I was able to quit my job and go all in on the community, and I've been doing it ever since. It paid for my 33 acres in the Ozarks, my camper. I was able to pay cash for my mobile home. It paid for a dairy cow, a horse, and it continues to provide every day today for myself, my wife, and our 6 kids as we're building up our dream life on our dream property that we've always wanted. I started Revolutionary Father to help other dads do the same thing. All right, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to be doing episodes on this show. And none of it's going to be planned. I have a general idea of what I'm going to talk about episode to episode. They're not going to be an hour long. I'm not here interviewing people. I'm simply going to share my stories of what I've gone through, what I've experienced over the last 4 years creating this life of freedom, the ups and downs of doing it. So hopefully you can do it yourself without having to go through the challenges that I had to go through myself. Not to say that it's going to be easy. Nothing in this world comes easy. Nothing in this world worth having comes easy. And so I appreciate you being here and being part of the Revolutionary Father movement. The Revolutionary Father was built for dads who are tired of working their life away, who are tired of waking up miserable every day just so they can provide for their family, because that's the job of a man and a father. He has to provide. It's for the dads that are tired of feeling stuck. Tired of being stuck in a system that doesn't benefit them, to work their life away until that hopefully they reach their golden years, if they make it till then, and then spend the last 10 years of their life struggling off of retirement and Social Security. The idea is to create a true life that's worth living. And that's why I started this movement. That's the audience that I'm looking for. And I'm hoping if you're hearing this, you are that audience. All right. I have been doing this for 4 years. Before this, I ran multiple other businesses. It took me forever to find the one that was right for me. After experiencing all this, we've been featured on all the news. I was able to impact a lot of dads in a lot of positive ways. I realized the freedom that it created for me, the life that I've built for myself through building a community that costs dads nothing. And after experiencing that, I wanted to help other dads do the same. So I wanted to talk about today the idea of being an influencer. The one thing I think that the world is selling a lot, especially in the entrepreneur space, for those of you new into the business world that hasn't really seen a lot of content in it, a lot of people are going to be that influencer, right? You may see an influencer as that Instagram model, or that guy on TikTok with millions of followers, or whoever it is, right? There's tons of influencers in tons of different spaces. I don't believe in the influencer model. I go a different route. All right, everybody and their mom is trying to become that next influencer. Look, guys, I don't want 1 million people watching this show. I don't want a million people subscribing to my podcast. I want the right people. I think in today's world, we're over worried about the number of people that see our content versus the quality of the people that see it. Because I don't care how many people see it. I just care that the right ones do, that my message connects with. All right. When I built Lone Star Dads, which is the community I built for those of you that are new to my channel, when I built Lone Star Dads, the idea was just to build a community for dads. If you go in any city of the United States, you will find a mom group. You will find a large and very active mom group. Dad groups you don't really find often. If you do find them, they're just full of memes and jokes, and they don't really cause any movement or change. It's just a place for guys to go in and joke around, which there's nothing wrong with. But to build a business, you got to build something a little more important than just a Facebook group to put some memes in. So I saw that there's something missing in the market. That the dad community is someone that no one's really gone after. No one's really created a movement in that space to build a community around. There's plenty of influencers that have funny videos that dads relate to, but there's not community. And so I decided to build that with Lone Star Dads. Took off quick. Didn't take much time at all. And so when I was building it, the idea wasn't to make it the Andrew O'Brien show. All right? I didn't want it to be an influencer. I wasn't a parent coach. I wasn't going to teach dads how to be parents. I don't give any advice on parenting. I have 6 kids and I still have no clue what I'm doing. And I'm definitely not qualified to tell another dad how to raise his kids. I don't believe in that. I think that everybody has a right to raise their kids based on their own core values and their own beliefs. I will never tell anyone else how to raise their children. So when building this community, I had to figure out, well, how do I do this without being an influencer? How do I do it without trying to act like I know what I'm doing? So I realized, well, guys just want to be part of a club. Right? They don't care who the club owner is. They don't care who the CEO is. We miss social life. We miss the camaraderie, especially those that were in sports or in the military. We miss friends. When you become a father, your social life kind of dwindles and it's all about your kids. So you miss out on just socializing with other like-minded men. So I was like, all right, I'll build this community called Lone Star Dads. I'll make it free. It won't cost guys anything to be part of it. There's no membership fees or dues. The only way to qualify to become a member of Lone Star Dads is to simply be a dad or in the dad adjacent role in the state of Texas. That was my only rules. No payment, no fees, no dues. So I did it, and we just blew up overnight. I mean, thousands of people joined within the first month. And then after that, I saw the potential. So I was like, okay, how do I make money off of this community without making money off of my members directly? How do I make money off of this community without charging my members to be a member of that community? So I realized, okay, I've got chapters, right? I've got a chapter in Austin, Texas. I've got a chapter in Houston, Texas. I've got a chapter in San Antonio. I've got a chapter in Dallas, Fort Worth. Well, I realized these dads are consumers. Local business owners would most likely want to get in front of them and be able to advertise to them. I've got thousands of dads in their market that they could advertise to, but that also came with a problem. There are plenty of other channels where they can advertise for a lot less money and get in front of a lot more eyes. How do I make this competitive? How do I make it where it's an easy yes? And what I realized in that time was how to make it an easy yes compared to Facebook, which could, for the same dollar amount, they could get millions of eyes, is I'm going to sell exclusivity. And so instead of selling exclusivity by chapter, because Houston is a chapter, but there's 13 counties in the Houston and surrounding areas. Austin is a chapter, but there's 5 counties. Dallas, Fort Worth, 12 or 13 counties. San Antonio, 5 or 6 counties. So while there are the main areas, there's plenty of counties, right? And in Austin, for example, Williamson County is at the top. Then you got Travis County, then you got Caldwell County, Hayes County, Bastrop County, and a plumber who lives and works in Williamson County isn't going to serve residents in Hayes County. It's too far for him. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell exclusivity. They're going to buy advertising packages. They're going to pay for them. And the reason they're going to say yes is because they're going to be the only plumber in Harris County. They're going to be the only roofer in Williamson County. We won't sign any other person in their industry in that county. If they want multiple counties, they can pay for multiple counties. But this way, it gives me that competitive edge. On Facebook, on Google, on Twitter, on Instagram, you know what they're doing? They're competing with every other company within 100 miles of their location. How many roofers do you think there are within 100 miles of downtown Austin? How many plumbers do you think there are in Houston? How many realtors do you think there are in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex? There are thousands. And so what we do is we sold exclusivity by county per industry. And that was what made it to where we don't have a cap. I mean, it's pretty much unlimited. If we reached our cap of the total amount of industries and counties that we could sell, we would be a multi-million-dollar company, and I wouldn't be complaining about it. Right? So that's how you think about it. Don't go after the influencer route first. Go after building a community, grow your membership, and then sell advertising and give it that competitive edge. Sell that exclusivity by city, by county, by zip code, whatever you want. And that will give you that competitive edge where it's a lot easier to say yes, because when they advertise with you, they don't have to compete. When they advertise with everybody else, they're competing against everybody else.